From losing the championship to getting fired because of an OnlyFans account. What a difference 24 hours makes. Not even 24 hours. Man, Mandy Rose has been on the goddamn roller coaster of emotions. You can't have an OnlyFans account, but you can abuse people, you can fail multiple drug tests, and we will keep bringing you back. Man, Triple H's regime isn't really all that much better than Vince's, is it? When you get down to it, the product on TV may be better, but oh boy. Let's get to it. I'm John Rentham with my real honest thoughts on Mandy Rose's WWE release. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And okay, full disclosure, I understand that WWE has a morality clause, or they have something where you can't do this stuff, but you can do this stuff. And Triple H has been a little more lenient and has loosened up on things as far as Twitch and other stuff and whatever. And sure, they're being paid, a lot of wrestlers are being paid quite a bit of money, whether on, NXT contracts, main roster contracts, but especially main roster contracts. And they're expected to hold up a certain moral code because they obviously would have some kind of morality clause, because why else would you get rid of somebody for having an OnlyFans account or a brand army or whatever the hell it's called? Why would you get rid of somebody for that? Or maybe not, I don't talk to them and say, hey, could you put this on ice? We'll boost your money a little bit. Could you maybe just not do that? Could you maybe tone it down a little bit? Whatever it is. But more full disclosure, I did not see any of this stuff. And I would like to say, before I dive into more of this, whoever leaked that stuff, whoever leaks OnlyFans stuff, you guys are assholes. You guys are absolute goddamn assholes. Whoever it was on Twitter, whoever decided to get that and leak that, you guys are dicks. And I want to say why. I'm not subscribed to any OnlyFans accounts. I'm not going to knock anybody it is. You do whatever the hell. You spend your money however you want. You support the people you care about. Wrestlers, celebrities, musicians. I don't care. Cosplayers. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who does an OnlyFans account. You do what you want. You earn that cheddar, as the kids say. I don't think anybody has said that in a number of years. You earn that money. And you know what? If you are confident in your physique, in your body, in your physical looks, and you feel the confidence to be able to do that and want to do that, more power to you. And people make obscene amounts of money. Apparently, Mandy Rose, according to some reports, was making a lot of money. Main roster money. She was making a lot of money doing this. And while, again, the OnlyFans stuff isn't for me, get down however the hell you want. Pay that. Support the people you care about. Any kind of sex work or any kind of this kind of stuff is actual legit work. I know it's a bit hard to figure out. I know it's a bit hard to understand for some of you guys that are prudes or have your head in the goddamn clouds or in the goddamn ground like you're a freaking ostrich, except ostriches actually have clearer heads than some of y'all that think that. But at least they're out there doing what they want to do. Now, apparently it was really risque stuff. I don't know. I didn't check it out. Why did I check it out? I didn't even know this stuff happened until just before the NXT, or during, watching NXT last night. When I was watching it live, I'm like, why are people talking about Mandy Rose possibly losing the title? Because, well, that's shitty. That's really goddamn shitty. But let's go through the possibilities. But again, fuck you if you were the person or the people that kept sharing that, tiered content. Because that's stuff for people that are fans that want to actually support the people they care about. Oh, if it's FAP material or whatever, okay, whatever. They're paying the money. And if they get that exclusive content, it helps the artist, the performer, whatever, and the fans get something in return. And also, they're showing off their body in a way that they are confident about, doing what they want to do, and earning, again, obscene amounts of money. So anyway, it was possibilities. It was stated explicitly in her contract that she couldn't do this kind of content. They got rid of Zelina for something like that, I believe, and then made a deal with her where she could do Twitch, but not OnlyFans. Or if she did an OnlyFans, you had to tone it down. I'm not exactly totally sure. I don't think you could do that. They wanted a piece of it and she refused, or they wanted her to shut it down, she refused, or they blindsided her and said, oh, you want to post that kind of stuff? Well, morality clause, we're getting rid of you. I don't know what actually happened. I wasn't in the room. I wasn't even there. I was on, but I don't actually know. I don't know what actually led to her being released. If the company did not consult her or did not even give her a chance to do some pleader case, whatever it is, that's bullshit. Now, there is a third possibility. The sponsors, some sponsors found out about this and weren't happy because it's supposed to be a family-friendly image, because Toxic Attraction is so family-friendly. And I mean, let me finish. But sponsors threatened to pull or threatened to halt their stuff, and WWE said, we have no choice. We have to get rid of you. All these are entirely possible. Apparently, it did come down to the content that she was posting. Now, it is her business. She's been doing this for a while, and they're just now aware of it. Or they've been aware of it for a bit, and they were like, okay, well, just do what you do. And, oh, it got leaked. Okay, we got to do it. Apparently, Lana, the former Lana, was making quite a bit. Apparently, Zelina was making quite a bit. If you can make obscene amounts of money and not put damage on your body by doing a tough athletic line of sports, entertainment, and athletics and all that, a hard business like wrestling, even though the athletes are taken better care of, it is still hitting the goddamn ring, a ring that is not meant to, you're not meant to take that kind of abuse. There's a reason why some talents are like walking around like they're arthritic and they're in their 30s. And Mandy apparently, and shout out to Miss Elena Nicole on Twitter, her and I talked a bit, apparently, and other people have said this too, it wasn't just one person, but that Mandy wanted to have one more run, on the main roster and possibly retire, Toxic Attraction having a run and everything. And now she's not going to. But I guess she's, still going full bore on this tier thing, like, or, this brand army or whatever it is. And she wants to do, she's doing this, and I don't remember what the price is. Somebody sent a screenshot of, like, the terms and conditions. Terms and conditions may apply. But I think it's like $25 a month. But you know what? Make the money. You're not going to be forever young. You can't be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? You can't be forever young. Forever young. Yes, I will find a way to shoehorn random 80s songs references into videos, even if I don't feel invincible. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to have some fun because I'm a little bit pissed off. I wasn't even the biggest fan of Mandy Rose. From the first time she signed, and she's been there since late 2014, early 2015. She's been there for a while. She's been there for closing in on 8 years. So it's not like she was there for 8 months or there for just 3 years. She's been there for a while. So yes, you could argue that maybe she had it with having the abuse on her body. Maybe she would have let that. Maybe she said, I don't want to shut it down. Okay, we're going to have to release you. But if she was caught off guard by this release, then that is egg on the face of the company. And I would like to explain why it's egg on the face of the company. Yes, there are certain things, okay, it's a PG family-friendly thing, of women that are in skimpy outfits, practically out there in their underwear. In some cases, I'm not knocking. But they're out there like that, but family-friendly, like little Jimmy and little Susie are seeing that at 8 years old and thinking, Mommy, why don't they have any clothes on? I don't think anybody has named their kid Susie in years. I don't know why I went with that, but nevertheless, so they're all, it could be so many things. WWE is a backwards company. I mean, yes, businesses have the right. Like you can't have when you're a teacher, you can't have an OnlyFans thing. I think there's been teachers that have been fired for that kind of stuff. Okay. But you still got to make money. You still got to do this stuff. And again, the confidence thing, you have to, you go with it and you go where the money takes you. And again, I can't fault anybody for chasing that. But they fired Zelina for something like that, and then she came back sometime later with a new deal. Now here's the big thing. One of the big things. They promote it, not exclusively, but by and large, and this is going back to, especially, I mean, you go back to the Attitude Era, Sable, and yes, different times. Sable, Sunny before that. China, the way they promoted her, even though China looked different, look different, she was, tough, athletic. She appealed to a lot of people. There was a lot of Playboy stuff, a lot of this shit going on, all this stuff that was happening, all the Playboy associations. Maria Kanellis. Now Maria Kanellis, Bennett, whatever. And various other women that had posed for Playboy. Tori, and, you had Trish, always had the puppies pushed up and everything. Lawler made sure to remind us that the puppies were always pushed up. Yeah, Lawler, they have Lawler employed despite the 1993 allegations that may or may not be true, probably are, but he paid the courts off. And all the other stuff of dating younger women and being very, very lecherous and creepy and an old man and stuff like that, and probably into some illegal stuff. But him and so many others, but I'm getting off base. The whole point is Lita, Trish, Dawn Marie, the Dawn Marie Tori Wilson stuff. Yes, okay, you can go back. That was late 2000. That was 20 years ago. God, that was 20 years ago. Al Wilson dying during the honeymoon. Man, that was trash TV, but what a time the Ruthless Aggression era was. But the whole point is they always promoted the sexiness of their women. And I'm not saying, by and large, there were a lot of really, really, really attractive women for various types, whatever you enjoyed. And then they tried to say, okay, well, we got the Divas Championship. We're just going to promote the women as basically objects. We're not going to do anything with them. We're just going to basically let them go out there and do that stuff. And this was only 10 years ago. They weren't allowing the women really to go out there and be anything except the bathroom break, sex objects, all that stuff. Yes, they got away from the Playboy stuff. I think 2008 was the last time they did that. Maria was one of the last ones. But then the women get to where they're doing more athletic stuff and being allowed to go out there and be athletes. Show that they can be talented, strong, and beautiful at the same time, which a lot of women always were in wrestling. They just weren't allowed a chance to show it. But WWE kept showing their hypocrisy, like the Paige thing where the stuff was leaked. The sex tape with her, Xavier Woods, and Brad Maddox. It was bullshit they got leaked. Shouldn't have gotten leaked. And in fact, Paige was the only one that really got the brunt of that stuff. Xavier and Brad Maddox, I don't know where the hell he is. I don't really care. Xavier got a lot of shit. And it's one thing to make jokes, but it's the way the company perceived in the way they didn't try anything, to basically make it about, oh, we gotta make sure the Paige is all right. Now Saraya, defender of Abuserverse, let's be perfectly honest, she kind of nuked all the goodwill she had, but at the time it was bullshit. And Seth Rollins, not even Seth Pheasant Rollins at the time, had stuff leaked, and that was bullshit that then but that wasn't paid content. But he got jokes, but it was pushed to the side compared to the Paige sex tape. And then we just get to more stuff where women are promoted as these sexy, powerful women, but the way they're... I don't care. Show off your body, have fun, whatever, as long as you're comfortable doing the stuff and everything. WWE is a TV company. They're going to promote looks more than anything. But at the same time, you promote women as these sexy, powerful women, and then you get upset when they do OnlyFans and they do stuff to capitalize on the fact that they are attractive women. Sometimes, in the case of others, obscenely attractive women. Just depends on your taste. So they can't do that. They can't do that stuff. Granted, there should be some parameters, especially as far as sponsors and stuff like that. Everything, and it's not Mandy's fault this stuff got leaked. It's not her fault at all. It's never the fault of anybody when stuff gets leaked, because it's always one particular asshole or somebody that happens to get a hold of stuff and says, I'm going to show this stuff and everything so you can see what you're paying for. No, that's the responsibility of the content creator to share something. Hey, this is just a taste of what you can get if you subscribe to the whatever the hell it is. I know some assholes just decided to do that. WWE continued to promote the fact, oh, toxic attraction, look how hot they are, look at it. And it almost seemed like NXT was actually going backwards with the way they were promoting a lot of the women. Like, the women have to dress sexy, do all this stuff and everything. They told Ember Moon, hey, you need to dress sexier to be more like Mandy to get more TV time, or whatever it was. Let's go back to 2015 when Triple H did the Stone Cold podcast thing before it became the Broken Skull Sessions. Speaking of, okay, so Steve Austin, one of the biggest stars ever and everything. Okay, can't do OnlyFans, but we'll just ignore the fact that he beat one of his wives. Wait, two of his wives. Because why would the wife in 1999 flee to England? Wonder. And Deborah McMichael, who never been necessarily any fan of. Nobody deserves that kind of treatment, but let's just ignore that. Let's ignore the numerous abuse things and everything and all that, but going back to how NXT talents are perceived, going back to how they're perceived, a lot of the women. There are so many, Nikita Lyons, the way they show her, granted, I hate to say it, but it's like, given her, lack of morals, really all she's got going for her is how they are promoting her looks. But they don't deserve to be objectified as far as like, okay, well, they're just sex objects, that's all they are and everything. But hey, Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose, JC Jane, my goodness, Gigi Dolan, former Priscilla Kelly. They were promoted as being these sexy, women, this trio of just insanely attractive women. That's the way they were promoted. The way they were shot, boy, the way the camera shot them. And all this stuff that they did all this stuff to try and just promote that. And then they're upset that Mandy Rose has something like this, has something where she's promoting. They had her out in bathing suits, had her out in basically nothing, had her wrestling in basically nothing often. And, oh no, you can't do that. You can't profit off of that. But we can profit off of your looks. See, this is why it's a give and take thing when it comes to wrestling, because I still love wrestling. I still love watching these talents go out there and be athletes. Even the people I don't like, I still respect the fact that they're able to go out there. But no, these women, you can't do OnlyFans. You can only... we have to profit from your looks. Oh, wait, you don't want that? Well, fine, you can go here. What do you mean you were making an insane amount of money and you don't want to come back? They could bring Mandy Rose back at any point. They could do the same thing they did with Zelina, bump up the money, dance, but they could bump that up. Boy, that was a goddamn bad reference. But they could bump that up and say, you can't do this, but we'll bump your money up. It's not like they're strapped for cash. And you can't do that stuff, but we're going to make you dress in whatever because we own you. We tell you what to do. That's some bullshit. Now let's look at some other factors. Okay, Sunny. They have Sunny in the Hall of Fame still. What did she get inducted? 2010, 11, something like that. And Sunny had already had numerous DUIs and stuff by that point, and had done porn and what, and adult sites. I'm not knocking. I mean, I will knock Sunny here in a minute because she's a goddamn drunk and a stupid bitch and a goddamn racist and a bigot and everything, and I hope she rots in jail and passes on horribly, and hopefully she suffers for the rest of her life. But I'm not going to knock her. She's in the Hall of Fame, and she spoke out against numerous people in the company and did all this, yet she's in the Hall of Fame despite all these numerous issues before, during, and after she got inducted. But that's okay because Mandy Rose was making too much money on OnlyFans. Going back to the Triple H comment that I forgot to mention, he talked about China. Oh, China, China can't be in the Hall of Fame on her own because an 8-year-old kid might Google China, and figure this out. We got to think of the kids. You got to think of the kids, but oh no, let's keep a bunch of wrestlers that have, abused underage girls, possibly underage boys. We don't really know. The whole speaking out movement. Oh no, you can't have China in the Hall of Fame. You can't do this, can't do that stuff. You have Sonny in there. You have Trump in the Celebrity Hall of Fame. The celebrity wing. A man that has a bunch of credible accusers from everything to molestation to R. There are certain words I'm not going to say. And you have Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, who did a lot for them as far as a celebrity. Robin Givens probably isn't a fan of him. Other women aren't. But Mandy Rose can't do that. We'll just overlook all this stuff. But we'll punish everybody else. We'll punish any of the women that want to profit off their own looks as they beat their bodies up for our entertainment and because we're paying them money. But evidently we're not paying them enough if they're getting this. And even if they were paying them enough, you know what? Maybe put a cap on the type of content. That would be fair. But let them post risque stuff. Because you already have them being risque enough on an alleged PG program. But that's okay. Because it just means that you can save this money that they were probably that they were probably going to just spend on catering. All that. And again, they could bring Mandy Rose back. Mandy Rose, they could be such a backlash. Mandy Rose could be rehired by 2 days after this video is posted. The whole point is the reason I'm upset is the amount of hypocrisy going on in WWE. WWE employs numerous people that have been named in the Speaking Out movement or associated with people from the Speaking Out movement. The Usos. How many times, this isn't Speaking Out, how many times have the Usos had DUIs? They overlooked all that stuff, or they punished them, or they sent them to rehab. They did all this stuff, but oh no, maybe we're not going to punish them at all. We'll just hope this stuff goes away. When OnlyFans account, that kind of stuff, that's not necessarily endangering lives. Driving drunk is. Jeff Hardy, that stuff. Yes, the drug policy, the wellness policy, I assume is kind of on the level, but also it's kind of bullshit because they just overlook a whole lot of stuff. But yeah, the Usos get a free pass. But OnlyFans stuff, no. Matt Riddle, who's apparently failed 2 wellness tests very recently. Possibly for meth, possibly for coke. Probably coke. It would actually explain a whole lot why he's suddenly, angry and firing up and everything, and why he doesn't see his kids, because he's too coked out of his goddamn mind, so he can't see anything. Because he's an idiot. Again, if you are abusing drugs, get help. In all seriousness, get help. But Riddle can get fucked as far as I'm concerned. But numerous people with multiple allegations, and yes, AEW is no saint in this, but this is about WWE. I could do something about AEW, you could do something about New Japan, by God. But the thing about Ricochet himself, I don't think is actually a terrible individual or has done anything bad in the past. However, he also has been part of the Team Vision dojo as far as training there, and I believe Casey Catanzaro, back when they were dating, they were there. Now, Chasen probably got disappointed when he saw that Casey was actually an adult, even though she's the size of a kid, because we all know how Chasen Rance likes them. That's a guy that anybody that associates with him, Moose and various others, they deserve to be banned from wrestling, because how dare you? How dare you associate with a pedo? But that's okay. Associating with a pedo, we'll overlook that, but OnlyFans, no! Austin Theory. Could be true about him, could not be. J.D. McTuna. More speaking outside. Josh Briggs. And various others. There are so many others. So many people that, yes, wrestling, they're not going to be the most morally, on the level people. I get that. I goddamn get that. It's wrestling. It's not ballet. I mean, even ballet people are messed up too. But the whole point is WWE will overlook so many other things. A morality clause. Oh, Riddle doing abuse of drugs, all this. I'm not saying fire people outright, but there are certain things you can tweak if people are dangerous to the goddamn roster, or dangerous themselves, whatever. You have to have a certain hardline stance, but OnlyFans, we have to put our foot down on that. Again, it was likely part of the contract, and that's likely why they felt that their hands were tied. It's probably also something you could see on OnlyFans, but I digress. If WWE is going to do a morality code or this kind of stuff or honor stuff in the contracts, then they need to start putting more shit in the contracts. Say, hey, if you fuck up, or if you're going to be some type of person, we find out you abuse somebody, then you're not going to be hired. You know why you're not going to be hired? Because if it's actually legit and credible, you shouldn't be allowed in wrestling. You should be in jail. You should, quite frankly, be strapped to a goddamn electric chair. And electric shock, electric shock. Yes, K-pop reference this late in the video. Forgot the name of that band. Anyway, nevertheless, I feel bad for Mandy Rose. I hope they do rehire her and give her more money. I hope they actually do that. And I hope that JC Jane and Gigi Dolan are not punished because of this, because they could be a really good team. And by God, they need more teams if they are insistent on keeping these tag team championships for the women around. But now the question is, do you just leave JC and Gigi in NXT? Do you give them time off and bring them up at the Rumble and just have them do stuff? What do? I would rehire Mandy Rose, and I would say, offer a fruitful apology and offer to up her money at least by 25% and say, look, you can't do this stuff, but we're going to give you a bonus because we were wrong. Because WWE has overlooked a whole bunch of other stuff, whether it was Vince McMahon in his heyday, Vince McMahon in his weird days, Vince McMahon when he was just a crotchety old man, didn't understand anything, or Triple H, who also doesn't exactly have the highest moral code. He hired back Road Dogg. I mean, Road Dogg, you don't think Road Dogg has abuse and allegations in his goddamn closet? Numerous people have been given numerous chances, and yet this stuff with Mandy. Hey, if she wanted to just go do that stuff and not beat up her body anymore, I don't blame her. But if she was really caught off guard by that and WWE did that, that's some bullshit. So that's all I got to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.